Good morning, college and high school football fans. How's everyone doing out there, y'all? It, of course, is a beautiful, gorgeous Saturday autumn morning here in SoCal, and I'm hoping that every one of you are doing great, are having a wonderful fall so far, and of course, enjoying some great football. All right, y'all. Here we go, man. Today's show is named Playoffs and Rivalries. Why? Because November is here. We're in the second week, and all you can think of besides Thanksgiving and the election, that's really all I can think of. Anything else you can think of in this month of November is playoffs for high school football and rivalries for college. Because that's exactly what it is, guys. Playoffs and rivalries. Today, we're going to be going over so much of it. The season is basically all done for high school. And, well, guess what, guys? Football season, it's coming down to the end here for these guys. But is it? Because we got wild playoffs coming on up. And, of course, college football, some are getting ready for playoffs in about a week or two, getting in their respective tournaments. And, of course, some big rivalries in that D1 single A. Guys, it's going to be a lot of fun today, man. We're going to have ourselves all kinds of fun. We're going to jump on in here, my boy T-Rod and I, and give you what's up in this world of high school and college football. You are now live with 3 and Out college football right here on High Sports Radio. Your direction for all.
Hi, eSports Radio fans. This show is brought to you by Planet Jerky Premium Brisket Beef Jerky. Planet Jerky is the official jerky of the 2022 California League champion Lake Elsinore Storm, Single A affiliate of the San Diego Padres. This all brisket jerky has gluten-free options, contains no MSG, no sodium nitrate, is low in sugar, and high in protein. Go to their website at planetjerky.net and follow them on Instagram at Planet Jerky. Planet Jerky, the jerky that's on a whole other planet.
Hey there, eSports Radio fans. Be sure to check out our sponsor, Seal the Deal Wax Seals by Cecilia B. You just finished your very own wedding or baby shower invitations and you're looking for that extra special touch? Maybe you just wrote a letter to a relative or a friend and you want to add to their smile when they receive it. Then seal the deal with Cecilia's handmade sealing wax stamps for your invitations, letters, and gifts. You bring the deal, we'll bring the seal. You can find them on Instagram at sealthedeal_wax stamps and on Facebook, Seal the Deal Wax Seals.
For the last 10 years, IE Sports Radio has been bringing you amazing content ranging from interviewing legendary athletes, coaches, and other authorized media personnel to building tailor-made shows dedicated to all major sports cities around the country. Make sure to follow us at IE Sports Radio on X, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube to keep up with the latest in sports and with all of our shows. Also, make sure to check out our daily updated website at iesportsradio.com. At iesportsradio.com, you can see our daily show schedule and check out all of our show pages with personal bios to learn a little bit more about each of our awesome hosts. In addition to our show pages, you can catch the iSports Radio blog, Hall of Fame, Fans of the Month page, and our merchandise shop, including t-shirts, tank tops, caps, long sleeves, hoodies, and more. For now over a decade here at IE Sports Radio, we've continued to be by the fans, for the fans, and we thank you all for your support and for making IE Sports Radio your direct feed for all that is sports. That's right, y'all. We're here today. We're in the building, man. We're getting it. Y'all know, man, IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. What's good, y'all? Thank you all for tuning in, man. It's a beautiful Saturday morning. I hope you're all enjoying yourselves. We got a great show to deliver, and we are just so happy to be here with you this morning. As always, ladies and gentlemen, I'm joined here by my boy, man, as I always say, man, IE Sports Radio Hall of Famer. He is, of course, the host of Set Point, our volleyball show here at IE Sports Radio, covering all things volleyball, man. He's going to be at a tournament later on today, covering high school football at its finest level, of course, here in Southern California. Southern California, basically the mecca of all volleyball, if you will. So he's here today, man. Glad to have him, as always, doing our thing every Saturday. Like I said, IE Sports Radio Hall of Famer, Set Point, host of Set Point, the host of the SoCal Sports Show. And once again, dang it, Teran, I'm freaking driving home from work. Can't necessarily jump on there and write whatever, but I just wanted to say, you know what? I'm going to save it for tomorrow's show. Dude, happy 200 shows on the SoCal Stream Sports Show. Yesterday, Teran hit it out of the park. I mean, when does he not? But yesterday, just awesome stuff, man. I loved it. Oh, Teran gets into the gimmicks. He has fun with it. He has personas. He does raps on that. I mean, Teran does all kinds of things. And that was a one-time thing, but he might do it again. I'm just saying, you know. But anyway, Teran does all kinds of great stuff, man. So as always, ladies and gentlemen, Teran Rodriguez, what's going on, brother? How you doing, man?
Hey, Larry B. Great to be here. Just thriving and surviving. And let's talk some college football and some high school football.
Let's get it, man. Of course, you can follow IE Sports Radio all over the place right here. Apple Podcasts, Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, everywhere, man. Everywhere. Google Podcasts, Amazon Music / Audible, Castbox, Deezer, Podcast Addict, Podchaser, GeoSave, and all those places. Give us a follow right here at 3 and Out CEIE, and of course, follow my boy Teran at Teran Rodriguez, the number 1, and you can follow me over there. Be at the THEE_LB53. Show some love to our sponsors, man. Planet Jerky, Premium Brisket Beef Jerky, and of course, my beautiful wives. Seal the Deal Wax Seals. Christmas is coming up. I'm just saying, you might want to seal the deal with something nice there. Christmas letters from Santa, gifts, all that good stuff, y'all. So check it out. Show some love, and there you have it. So, Teran, man, here we go, man, to week number 1. Well, sorry, week number 1. Into really week number 1 for the playoffs for high school football is here for the most part. I'll get into that in a few moments. We will get into that in a few moments. But time to get into our FBS recap and talk a little bit about last week's big games out of week 10 in college football, and, of course, the FBS. And, Teran, I mean, you know, when you talk about the big games, I mean, there was none bigger last week than number 4 Ohio State versus number 3 Penn State. And Teran, I really, really, really wish that I could watch that game again because it was a fun game to watch. But let's just be real. Ohio State dominated. In my opinion, this game was actually not as close as the score was. What do you think?
Yeah, I just think Ohio State still has the number of Penn State. This is a strange but true fact. The past 3 years, Penn State is 0-5 against Ohio State and Michigan, but they are undefeated against every other team in the regular season. So just goes to show that Ohio State is still Penn State's daddy for the most part.
No, it's true. Ohio State has proven it time and time again. And, well, their coach he's a funny guy. But he doesn't have any answers for day in the Ohio State Buckeyes. So one time for Gen B. Are you ready, Teran? That's my boy. I had to get it started. I know Teran would finish that sucker. So, oh man, we had to get it. But yes, it was awesome. These guys definitely got to do it. Big ups, by the way. Yes, Marietta, which is where I live. Not that Marietta. It's gonna. But good old Mount Union taking on Marietta today. Yes, that's right. OAC action. Division III football, man. Teran, Mount Union's just gonna. I don't know, dude. Mount Union's about to get it today. This team is so good. I mean, we're gonna get into them in a little bit too, but I don't know, man. I was taking a look at a lot of their stats and looking at, dude. I don't know, dude. Mount Union might win this thing this year. They might be the sleeper in this tournament. I'm just saying. But anyway, big ups to Mr. Ralph Calise as well. What's going on, brother? Glad to have you up in here. But yeah, Teran, I mean, let's just call it what it is, man. Ohio State. Yeah, who's your daddy? I mean, that's just really what it is, man. Penn State doesn't have an answer for these guys. They can come close, but when it comes down to it, Ohio State they have that extra gear that Penn State does not have versus them. And it's just, I don't know, man. I can't even put it somewhere. Defensively, I feel like they have like okay, like when in boxing, Teran, when the rounds are graded 10-9, 10-9, 10-9, 10. You know what I mean? Like when it's like unanimous. I feel like that's it. I feel like that's how much it is. 10-9. Like in every round, like every single round, every quarter, Penn State just doesn't have the extra number that Ohio State has. It's 10-9 every. You know what I mean? Like I just that's what I feel like. So it's just I don't know. It was pretty good. So, Teran, in other news, Miami defeats Duke in their number 5 in the nation, 53-31. Teran, is the U back?
Not in that first half, they weren't. The second half is where they really surged. So, Miami, they continue to coast through their schedule, but they have not played anyone big.
This team, Teran, I'm telling you, they're fool's gold until proven otherwise. I'm not gonna, no. And of course, Ralph tuned in yesterday too, man. 200 shows for the SoCal Supreme Sports Show. Teran, you're just rocking and rolling, kicking ass in every facet, man. We appreciate you for all you do. Like I said, man, the gold standard of IE Sports Radio, man. We appreciate you for this. So let's go ahead and continue it on. Getting it going. I mean, really, there wasn't a lot, man. Ole Miss got over Arkansas because they should have, beat them pretty bad, 63-31. Army took out the Air Force because, well, they should have. They're much better. But Minnesota upsets number 24 Illinois 25-17. What the hell happened there?
Yeah, that was quite the fascinating game. I've always been high on Minnesota because they have a good defense. So I think that really came into fruition against Illinois. Yeah.
Is it any surprise to you that Oregon took Michigan around the woodshed? They beat them boys down like they stole something, man. Michigan fell from grace, and we knew they were going to fall from grace because, the captain of the ship is in LA now with that team over there. Not that team that he's wearing. Talk about Ghoul Chargers. I wish I had that sound effect. Arnold wouldn't be mad. He'd let me use it. Just kidding. Ghoul Chargers. Just kidding. Remember that? Yes, that is where Harbaugh is. And Michigan is not winning games no more. I mean, let's just call it what it is, right? Big ups to everybody once again tuning in. We appreciate y'all so very much, man. Oh, look at shots fired. Pew, pew. I mean, yeah, no love for Michigan. What's going on? Dre is our boy Dre, man. Of course, he is of the NorCal Sports Report. This guy does an amazing job. He covered. Hey, let me tell you right now, Teran, have you got a chance to hear his show recently?
Yes.
Dude covers the 3C2A up north really good, doesn't he?
Yep.
He is really covering a dude right here. Now, no one likes you, San Mateo. No one likes you. I'm just kidding. I love the north and south deal, man. I love it. I'll tell you right now, this is going to be so much fun with him this year, talking 3C2A in the playoffs. Oh, man. I'll tell you, right now, I'm looking at the 3C2A, dude. Oh, my gosh. Like, my biggest excitement out of the north. Oh, man. I mean, obviously, San Mateo, They're number 3. They're the highest. But Butte is not to be slept on, dude. Modesto, they already beat San Mateo this year. You know what I mean? So I don't know. ARC got back up there, dude. American River is now back in the top 10. I can't wait to get to the 3C2A, man. It's gonna be a lot of fun. But big show, man. Today, appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for tuning in, brother. But yeah, man. Your guys' thoughts on SMU destroyed the Innsbruck? Yeah, oh boy, they're undefeated. We'll get into that in just a few moments, of course. And thank you so very much. Like, subscribe, be a part of us, man. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for being here. And yeah, we're giving thumbs today. So appreciate you guys once again for tuning in. And let's go ahead and keep on going. So number 2, Georgia knocks off Florida 34-20. I mean, another one that we did not think was going to go any other way, Teran.
Yeah, but it was a little closer than expected. Gotta give it up to those Gators, but Georgia just stood on business as usual.
And they're the much better team. That's all there is to it. They were the much better team. So, I mean, no surprises. And I think we're just going to kind of skip the non-surprising games. There actually was a surprise, 2 surprising games, 3 actually. My gosh, but Texas Tech. Which one of these was more crazier to you? Texas Tech over number 11 Iowa State. 23-22 on the road. Okay, there's one. Number 17 Kansas State losing to the Cougs of Houston. I did not see this come. Man, if I would have bet money on this, I would have lost my ass. Houston 24-19 at home over number 17 Kansas State. Obviously, Teran, we had Louisville defeating number 11 Clemson. I don't know why I feel like that's not the biggest upset, because I just don't see that specialness at Clemson no more. But anyway, I don't know. Or, of course, we got the game of the week, the big one last week, where South Carolina, man, home. And I hope you're still listening, Dre. I hope you're still listening, because this is the home of Deebo Samuel. Remember him, Darren, when we were watching him? We were watching this guy in senior week and the Senior Bowl a couple years ago, going, man, this guy's going to be special. And then he goes to the gosh damn Niners, and we're like, oh, he would go to the Niners. But yeah, man. I mean, so what do you think, Teran? Who were your biggest your biggest upset in those couple of games?
Well, South Carolina isn't really surprising because they've posted some really good wins. So Texas Tech was a surprise. I didn't expect them to go on the road and win at Iowa State. Houston was also a pleasant surprise, defending home field against Kansas State. Ralph talked about how SMU just stood on business against Pitt and just stomped all over them. Indiana also had a slow start. They allowed 10 points against Michigan State and then rattled off 47 straight points. So there was that. Other than that, it doesn't look like anything too big.
Good for Indiana, by the way, in that game. They did really, really well. And good for Tennessee. We knew they were going to beat Kentucky. 10 points was about right, you know? So, I mean, I don't know. There were some good ones last week. But, yeah, SMU, man. The SMU game, it sucks because I wanted so much more out of that game. I wanted it to be like a double overtime kind of battle. I really did, and it wasn't. It wasn't, you know. Pitt is solid. They just didn't have the fuel to fight off against SMU, man.
I agree. Yeah, but SMU is so underrated. I think they could be coming out of the ACC, but I just hope that they're able to challenge Miami. I think Miami's going to coast through the ACC for the most part.
No, me too. I really do believe that as well. And right now, I mean, when you look at these coming up, I mean, you have a couple of different games. We'll get into those later on today, like today's matchups and everything. When it comes into these teams, man, just you want to see the best playoff you possibly can, right? So it's like, I don't know, man. Is SMU going to somehow sneak into that top? You know what I mean? That top 12. I mean, could they do this? Could they actually get that? I mean, I don't know. There's a lot. This is really exciting to look at. So big ups. Oh yeah, we'll look at this. SMU about to be TCU of years. You know, absolutely. And then they're gonna get smashed in the game. And he's playing. Oh, that was sad. That Georgia game was so sad. Poor TCU. Poor TCU. Yeah, it's Aaron. So anyway, man, any last thoughts on any of these top 25 or any of these D1 games from last week?
Do I dare bring it up? USC laid a goose egg against they just did not have it against Washington. And I think they're not a good road team. And it's disappointing because all their road games have been decided by one score.
I just think they're not a good team. Like, I mean,
And now it's gotten to the point where they're benching Miller Moss for Jaden Mayava, the UNLV transfer, which I don't necessarily agree with. I think it's not all his fault because his O-line doesn't do him too many favors. So I feel bad for him, but that 3-interception game against Washington was just bad, dude. So I hope Jaden Mayava is their answer.
USC sucks. I'm sorry. I can't say it any worse. Like USC is just absolute trash. I have this game. I even forgot USC's playing football right now. Like, I'm not even paying attention. And
they have a bye this week, so they can't hurt us this week.
And then we got UCLA at Notre Dame. I mean, it just makes me mad to know that, like, I mean, UCLA and USC is going to be the toilet bowl this year. I mean, two terrible teams. And it makes me mad because now these idiots, it's the Big Ten, and they got to the Big Ten and whatever. No. This is what happens, okay? This is what happens when a USC team, okay, tries to get a whole revamped look, okay, bring in this new flashy coach, bring in his QB. I mean, I don't know, dude. I guess, don't get me wrong. I'm glad Lincoln Riley's there, but this whole thing was just terrible timing. It's like, obviously, he's doing the whole rebuild deal with these guys. And I don't know. USC looks like a bunch of fools playing in a conference they should own, So it just makes me mad. Like, it just, And then UCLA too look like crap. So it's like, way to make an entrance, guys. But at least Oregon's making us look good. I mean, in the Pac-10 that I will always continue to claim. But yeah, man. So I don't know. They suck. But yeah, Northwestern got a nice victory over Purdue last week in the overtime game. That was pretty damn good. Another OT game, Syracuse over Virginia Tech. So, I mean, there were some good ones, man. I really enjoyed some football last week. It was more of a just sit back and hang out, enjoy the games coming on up kind of week, last week. But anyway, Teran, let's go ahead and jump on over to some high school football, man, because, well, this is what we got going down this week, man. Modern Day, obviously, number 1, 9-0. Nobody wants to play these guys, so they got basically 2 bye weeks before the CIF Open start of the playoffs for these guys. They have Sierra Canyon in round number 1 and
quarterfinals,
and because I love that tournament, how small it is, because not very many teams can get into it, but that, I mean, it's going to show you Modern Day, extremely amazing team. And we've been saying it all year long, man. They didn't destroy, but they beat everybody they needed to beat this year. There's no way. Modern Day goes on and wins out again. They're going to go win state. They're going to be number 1 in the country. And congratulations again, because this team is absolutely freaking amazing. But really quick, though, I'm going to roll through this. Number 2, Milton. Hey, out of Georgia. They started the playoffs this week. They just finished a 10-0 season. They got Woodstock. That's a 7-3 coming on to town. Number 3, Duncanville. They are actually playing their last week, week 10. They are taking on, looks like, Temple coming on up this week. We have number 4, Bishop Gorman starting the playoffs. They are the defending national champions. They will be taking on Liberty, a team that is in their conference or their league or whatever you want to call it. Number 5, Carrollton out of Georgia. They finished a 10-0 season. They're starting the playoffs. They got Dakula coming on up in round number 1 there. You can see here on the bottom of the screen. So big ups there. Top 5 looking pretty good. IMG Academy obviously dropped out from last week, but we knew that was going to happen. There's no way they're going to stay in the top 10. But we have here number 6, North Shore out of Houston. These guys, 9-0. They do have playoffs. Actually, they're 10-0, but they got the playoffs coming up against Deer Park this week. They also have, let's see here, St. John Bosco. They're versus Santa Margarita. Okay, in this Open, in the CIF Open. St. Francis Academy, they're back. They're back in the top 10. They finished 7-3. They're going to take on, I don't know if it's a playoff because they're not in the leagues or anything, but Mount Zion Prep next week. And then, of course, Mission Viejo. They were going to be facing off against the Football Factory, Corona Centennial here in the IE. coming on up. What's going to be in Orange County in round number 1. And then North Crowley, they finish off at number 10 this week out of Texas, the DFW area. They got them playoffs taking on Byron Nelson in week 1 this week. So, Teran, playoffs are here, bro. Playoffs are here. What do you think about these games?
Yeah, I think it's going to be really good. Mission Viejo Centennial is going to be a movie. I am already calling it. And
seriously,
I'm also going to say for the CIF 7 section playoffs, there were 10 teams. Obviously, most teams got a bye, except for teams the 7 seed and the 10 seed and the 8 seed and the 9 seed. But Santa Margarita and Sierra Canyon both stood on business last night. So if Santa Margarita didn't beat Servite, I think the open division, the Division 1 in CIF probably would have been either 9 teams or 8 teams. But that's just how it is. Santa Margarita beat Servite in week 10, which was huge. Yeah. That's what got them into the playoffs, let alone Division 1. Yes. And now their season's still alive as they'll get to take on Bosco, which I think Bosco is very beatable. Nothing against Jason Negro's team, but this year's Bosco team just doesn't have that same pop like it's had in years past.
It sucks because I wanted so much more out of these guys this year. Last year though was just so. Look, when Bosco is really good and Mater Dei is really good, obviously it's good for high school football. But it's like it's hard because they don't destroy each other, but they give each other that one loss that can jack things up. Like last year, you had Chaminade number 2. You had number 1 Bishop Gorman. Now Chaminade is nowhere to be found in the top 10. Bishop Gorman's fallen a little bit, but Mater Dei, but you're not going to see St. John Bosco up there. Obviously, it's that one loss. I don't know. It's crazy. But anyway, man, good stuff there. CIF, of course, here in Southern California, playoffs going on. All the other letters, going on in the rest of the country. All of the playoffs here, but looking, obviously you got these major teams all around the country, man. Enjoy some high school football. Go to your local high school, enjoy it. I'll tell you right now, there's some good stuff last night. Celia and I we went and enjoyed ourselves, man. Went to the winery, had a good time last night, and whatever. And after dinner and enjoying ourselves there for a good minute, driving home, it's crazy seeing all these lights up here and like, oh yeah, they're playing them and they're playing them. You know what I mean? This is really cool. It's really cool to see, like, it's here we go. This is the playoffs. Big ups to all these teams who made it. If you didn't, hey, there's always next year. Great season though to a lot of schools, man. And well, here we go, Teran. Playoffs are here, ready to rock and roll, and we're gonna continue to advocate for playoffs. Well, at least for a 4-game playoff here, I would love that for a national championship. I would love that. I really want that. Like, if this was the top 4 right now, I would love to see Mater Dei play, I don't know, Duncanville, and then Milton take on Bishop Gorman. And then the winner of those 2 play. You know what I mean? Like, why not? I guess... Why not? I would love to see it. You got state champions versus state champ, and then we need a national. But I know it's a lot of games, but is what it is. But we'll see. We'll see what's good. So anyway, Teran, any last comments on high school football?
So in the CIF 7 section, they've really, how do I say this? They've really cracked down on who isn't at large. A lot of teams that are 500 or better. But there were a couple teams in Division 8 that were not 500, which might surprise you. So
yeah,
a team that was under 500 was Cypress that made it. They went 0-5 in league, but finished 2-8 overall. Mm-hmm. But it gets worse. Their first round opponent was St. Pius x St. Matthias, which that's a mouthful. They actually finished 1-9. And they went winless in league, and those two faced one another, and St. Pius was able to come out on top. So, interesting thing is that a reporter, actually has St. Pius winning it all. So, imagine a team that wins 1 game, gets into the playoffs, and then winds up winning CIF. That would be crazy.
Okay, so for those of you listening right now, hopefully we didn't lose a lot of you just because, we went to high school, But, oh my gosh, I don't want to go down this rabbit hole, but that makes me mad because, okay, last year, it was 2 years ago now, right, Teran? The Arlington deal?
I think so, yeah.
So, Arlington High School here in Southern California, Riverside, California, to be exact, They won 3 games all year. 3. But in high school football over here, at least, you just got to win 3 games in those 5 league games to make the playoffs. Arlington went 3-7, but they won 3 of the 5 games in weeks 5 through 10. The rest of the conference or the rest of their league wasn't that good. Therefore, they were actually the top seed at 3-2 in their league. They get to the freaking playoffs, Teran, and they run the table. They freaking dominate in their division. It was like division 10 or 11 or 12 or something like that. They dominate and destroy everybody. Win 4 games. They win a CIF Southern Section title. Then they go to state and they freaking win that bracket too. There's 4 games or 2 games, 4 teams. They freaking win their division of state, and they win. What are the odds, Teran? I think like last year, they went 0-5 to start the season. They lost all of the not preseason, but the non-league games. They won, like, let's just say hypothetically, they won game 6, they lost 7, they won 9, they lost 10. You know what I mean, or whatever it was. They won 3 games. Okay, let's just say hypothetically they won 6, 9, and 10, and they lost the other 2. Their league sucked. They went to the playoffs. They freaking go 4-0 in the playoffs. 1, 2, 3, 4. Win CIF in their section. Go to state. 2 more games left. 1, 2. So a team that was 3-7 in the regular season gets in, runs the table for the playoffs, runs the table for state. They are Southern section champions of their section, and they are state champions. But they went 3-7, and people are like, well, wait a minute. They went 3-7, yeah, but they lost games that didn't count, which I don't understand that. But they won the important games in the league, and it just so happened to happen that way. Okay, I am not hating on the Lions. I am not hating, okay? I am not hating whatsoever. They are the same colors as USC, basically. I mean, I'm not going to hate on those guys. But it's just crazy to think that a team that can only win, you know what I mean, in the regular season, it doesn't look right. And it's like, they won the games they had to. So I don't know. St. Pius, same kind of deal. I don't know, Teran. Do we need to remodify these? I mean, do we need to try to reinvent the wheel again? What do you think about these playoffs? Because I think we're going to see some of that. Not only, I'm sure there's other stories all around the country of this kind of thing happening, whatever. Some people are going to say, just leave them alone, let the boys play. And I understand that. But it's crazy to think that teams that could win so little in the regular season can get to the playoffs, and once they ignite the fire, they can go crazy there. I mean, I don't know, Teran, what do you think?
Yeah, and I think it's not just that instance. It was 3 years ago where my school, Newport Harbor, went 3-7. They only won 2 league games, managed to get in as an at-large, and they wound up winning CIF in Division 6, which was pretty darn impressive. Unfortunately, they did lose in state in the regionals, but hey, they wound up winning hardware.
It's just crazy though. 3-7. It's a 3-7 record. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Some people are appalled. We're like, no. How did that happen? Like, you've got to be kidding me. But once again, only 5 games really count. So some people are like, well, then why do they play the other games? Some people would say that. And I really do feel that, I don't know, Teran, do you think we need a revamp of that, or we need to start counting all of these games? Who cares about the league anymore? Or, I mean, to reward the teams who really, 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 win in their freaking 8-2, 9-1, 10-0 teams? Or do you feel that, no, let's just keep it how it is? I mean, what do you think? That's a great question.
Yeah, I think the system is good, but I think you got to limit like teams that are applying for at-larges. I know the coaches love to fight for their players, but
yeah,
there has to be some sort of like prerequisite to.
Exactly. I mean, it just blows my mind to think of a team that didn't win very much at all. And they just happened to, and I get it. Oh, well, they win where it counts. They win where, I get it, but it's just hard to look at going, damn, this is a 3-7 team, or a team that didn't win very much in the regular season, and now they're doing that thing in the playoffs. I mean, I don't know. Some people would be just so disagreeant with that. But then again, some people disagree with having a small playoff for nationals. So I don't know. But anyway, guess food for thought. Anybody out there listening, anybody out there have a story to share with us that's very similar to that. But wow, so let me get this right. St. Pius won 1 freaking game when they somehow got in the playoffs.
Right.
How did that happen? Did they lose to like Mater Day 8 times this year? Like, what happened? Like, or like, How did that even happen?
I think they finished last in the Angeles League, and they played a lot of good teams close.
Oh my gosh, that's craziness, man. Craziness. It's weird. But anyway, it's Aaron. Let's go ahead and move it on here. Actually, you know what? Let's take ourselves a quick little break right here. And you're going to jump right into some 3C2A NJCAA action when we get back. That's always a fun discussion with that high school stuff, especially right now. We're getting into the playoffs, man. So anyway, big ups to those top 10 right now. Super excited for all of them. Best luck in the playoffs. And anybody else out there, man, best luck to those teams out there in them playoffs for high school football. So you were listening to 3 and Out College Edition right here on IE Sports Radio. Your direct feed for all that is sports. We'll be right back with some college football after this.
Sports fans, do you like teams that are tough, cities that are tougher, and fan bases that are passionate about their teams? How about teams that are historic and stadiums that are iconic? Then you belong in Chicago, and you need to check out Chi-Town Weekly. Join me, Adam Kernan, every week as we keep up with all things Chicago sports. Bears, Bulls, Blackhawks, Cubs, White Sox. We'll cover them all, plus more. The Windy City is always buzzing, and we'll keep you up on all the big games and major stories. So tune in to Chi-Town Weekly every week right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
What's up, New York? This is Ricky K coming at you at the NY State of Sports, a new show here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Listen to me every Thursday afternoon as we bring you the latest takes on the Yankees, Mets, Jets, Giants, Knicks, Nets, Rangers, Devils, and Islanders. Plus, you get some college hoops and what's the local sports events going on in the area. It's a state that never sleeps, so why not get the opinions and sports takes that never sleep? Again, every Thursday, 2 p.m. to the NY State of Sports. We'll see you then.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. 3 and Out College Edition right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Oh yeah, it's Aaron. We got a little upbeat, jazzy jazz coming back on in here, Darren. Got them jazz hands? Oh, man. So, welcome back, everybody. Hope you're all doing great, man, this beautiful Saturday morning, man. We're just enjoying ourselves, talking the sport. We love football. Just finished up with high school around the nation. And, of course, we're jumping on into some junior college now. So, Darren, 3C2A action, man. The junior colleges of Southern California. Okay, so, yeah, no, last week, I mean, nothing too surprising here. The only team that kind of, I don't want to say laid an egg because they lost, but it wasn't like it was terrible or anything. But last week, you know, we gave the top 10 from the 3C2A website, and everything was cool. And Ventura was there last week, and they're not there this week. Ventura would lose to Bakersfield, man, 45-27 on the road, and they're the only team that would drop out, Taryn. Everybody else is pretty good, man. Everybody else really stayed strong. Mount Sac got that victory. They're 8-0 now. Riverside, they're 7-1. San Mateo, 7-1. Golden West, 7-1. Butte, 7-1. And then the rest of the top 10, we got San Diego Mesa, Modesto, Fresno City, El Camino, and Arc is now back in American River. Ventura did fall to 11, so they're not too far off. But Teran, what do you think here, man? I mean, now we're getting close. I mean, we're 2 games away. Today we play game number 9. Next week is it, man. This is it. Next week we're getting like how the brackets were already made for high school, and we're getting ready to play them this week. This is it. The wheels are in motion, man. We're getting real close to putting together the little 14 playoff for North and South. As of right now, Teran, I mean, I don't know. Mount Sac is still the top dog.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's really beaten Mount Sac unless it's like maybe RCC or Golden West. But yeah, everything is coming into fruition, and I think that we're going to be getting this is basically crunch time for some of these teams that want to make the playoffs.
No, it's true, Darren. It really is. And looking at these guys right now, I mean, you look at some of these teams that have kind of fallen by the wayside. Today Cerritos plays a very tough, very, very tough Golden West team. But is Cerritos going to be the team to knock these guys off and put them back a little bit? I don't know. I don't think so. It's San Diego Mesa. I mean, that's a team that, RCC, they were up and coming when I was playing there. Now they're pretty solid. But, Mesa, I mean, oh my gosh, I don't want this to happen. But will they be the team? Could they knock off RCC and put them back and find themselves in better position for the playoffs? I think obviously RCC or anybody really loses another playoff game or loses another game except for Mount Sac because they have a little bit of headway because they're undefeated. I mean, I'm pretty sure they're out of the playoff. But I mean, Butte today, they play in Feather River. I know Feather River isn't that great. We don't even talk about that team very much. But what I'm saying is will Butte fall or will they continue to be up there near the top, So, I mean, I don't know, man. Up and coming teams. I mean, Chaffee, they got Santa Ana today. Is Chaffee gonna, I mean, they're probably, I mean, I think they're bowl eligible, but will they be a team that's up there? Long Beach plays Mount Sac today. Will Long Beach be the team to give Mount Sac that lone victory, that lone loss of the year? Now, we'll see. I think Long Beach is they're not that far off. They're number 18. They're still in top 25. You got Arc today. They're playing Santa Rosa. American River, and they're hanging out in the top 10. Will they be able to stay there? Ventura is playing El Camino today. Ventura wants back in that top 10. Will they knock off El Camino and probably trade places? I mean, this is some fun stuff today, man. So what do you got? Some good games that you like today? Some possible upsets you want to try to call? What do you think?
Yeah, I think Mount Sac, they're still doing great things, but that target on their back is getting bigger and bigger by the day. And yeah, I feel that their schedule is going to really pick up this week. I think Cerritos can be a big trap game, just because the final week. I don't think they play RCC.
Who's that?
Mount Sac.
Mount Sac. Okay, so yeah, the very last week on the 15th, man. I'm sorry, the 15th. That's San Mateo and Laney. They play. But the very last week of the season, believe it or not, Riverside is going to play Fullerton. So looking at the schedule, dude, yeah, freaking Mount Sac and RCC don't even play each other. They're two of the top teams in the country. They don't even play each other, man, in this regular season, because I think everyone knows that they're on a collision course for the playoffs, man. I mean, but crazy enough, Teran, Golden West, who's currently number 3, 4, or number somewhere up there, they're going to be playing Mount Sac in that last week.
Oh, they're playing. My bad. I forgot conference play, but yeah, but I did see that Riverside had a high-scoring affair against Saddleback, which was wild to say the least.
Didn't like it. 63-46. You don't give up that many points, guys. I mean, I get it. They might have a very strong offense, but I don't like that. I guess.
I said Mount Sac plays Cerritos. Golden West this week plays Cerritos, which that's going to be big. Riverside, San Diego Mesa. That's so big for playoff implications. Yeah. I think either of those teams could come out on top. I think that's going to be a great matchup. Long Beach, Mount Sac. Long Beach hung tough with Golden West. Unfortunately, a few mistakes here and there, and Long Beach probably could have won that game. Ventura El Camino also is a underrated matchup as well.
No, for sure, man. I once again, like I said, will they flip-flop? This is going to be fun down the stretch, man. We got 2 more games left. I don't think we're going to see too many upsets moving forward. I guess I hate to say it. Mount Sac will probably finish 10-0, but I can only hope that RCC pulls it off in the playoffs and beats these guys. Because if that's the case, I mean, San Mateo is beatable. They lost to Modesto. RCC is definitely freaking beatable. Any team is beatable. But the juggernaut in the room right now is of course, Mount Sac. I mean, will they finish the perfect season? Will they do that? Because they're damn good this year. But we'll see. City College of San Francisco they're terrible. They're not in it this year. Butte, I don't know if they got enough power from in the north. I don't know if they got enough power to make a deep run. So really, I feel like at San Mateo, obviously Modesto is going to be in the mix up there. But looking at it right now, man, I mean, obviously top dog, the Mounties of Mount Sac. You got Riverside fighting for it there. But who else will it be? And I don't know, man. This is gonna be a lot of fun. Golden West is trying to
San Diego
is right
Mesa.
there. San Diego Mesa is right there. And I think that's pretty
It's just
much
a
it.
hodgepodge of really good teams fighting for playoff spots.
Exactly. And think about it in the North right now. So number 1 is the South. Number 2, South. Number 3, we have the North. So up at number 3 is the top team in the North, San Mateo. Then you have
Right.
Golden West, South, Butte, North, Mesa, Modesto in the North. Okay, Fresno in the North, Elko in the South, and then America. So it's 5 and 5, Teran. We got 5 South teams in the North right now, and 5 South teams in the South that are all fighting. Right there. I mean, and once again, only 4 teams per get in. So right now, Teran, I think if it were to go, obviously it's Mount Sac and Riverside, but it would probably be something more like Mount San Antonio taking on Golden West, and then Riverside would be taking on the next team up, which should be San Diego Mesa, and that would be your 4 team. And then, at least this is what I'm thinking. And then San Mateo would be taking on Modesto, and Butte would be taking on Fresno City right now. That's crazy, right? To think, and that would be the 4 teams right now. And the 2 teams that are left out are obviously 9 and 10, and that's El Camino and American River. That's what I'm saying. El Camino today, they know this is basically a playoff game for Elko, man. They have to beat Ventura to keep it going, because if they fall anymore, they can kiss any playoffs goodbye. I mean, as of right now, they already got 2 losses. That's tough. Ventura is doing everything they can too, because they know that if they can't lose anymore either. Right now, these are all must-win situations. Again, in American River, they're number 10. They've already lost 3 games. They're probably not going to be in that 4-team playoff, but hell of a season. So really, I mean, we have the 8 teams who look like they're probably going to be in it. But Teran, that upset monster is a jerk. So I don't know, Teran. As of right now, though, do you feel that this top 8 will be those teams, or are you just like, no, I'm not confident in that?
Probably, yeah. But yeah, that's why you play the game. We gotta see what these 2 weeks look like.
That's why you play the game, bro. So, all right, man. So let's go ahead and switch on over to some NJCAA action. Teran, we haven't changed very much. We're still here. Good old Iowa Western. They're the top dogs here. Good old Reavers, man, doing their thing. Georgia Military, Hutchinson, obviously they lost that big one, to good old Butler. So they're number 3, number 4, Northwest Mississippi, and number 5, North Mississippi Gulf Coast. Sorry, you got Snow, Navarro, East Central, which is cool. East Central's up there now. Lackawanna and Coffeyville, the top 10 in the NJCAA. And Teran, I'll tell you, man, last week, it just, once again, you got to love the surprises, right? Every now and then. We talked about last week, the games that would be a lot of fun to watch. Obviously, it was kind of a sleepy week, but dude, it was kind of cool. Dog City and Coffeyville went at it. Coffeyville won that thing by a point. Really, really, really cool. Military and First Responder Appreciation Day. Really, really good game there, Coffeyville. They've earned themselves in. They're number 10. They're probably not going to make the playoffs. Or they actually will. I'm sorry. They probably will. There's a big chance that they might. But they know right now, just like the 3C2A, the NJCAA, it's all must win. I mean, that's all there is to it. You got Butler taking on Iowa Western, where Iowa Western absolutely destroyed. Iowa Western destroyed Butler. So no upsets there from those guys. And then, of course, the Texas battle that we talked about, Tyler taking on Navarro. Navarro just went ahead and wiped the floor with Tyler there. So really, last week, like I said, it wasn't the greatest thing in the world. It really wasn't the greatest thing, greatest matchups, but they were still pretty fun. So what do you think last week, man? NJCAA action.
Yeah, there was some good. There was some great matches here and there. That Coffeyville Dodge City matchup was probably the match of the day.
Yeah.
From last week. So and then there was one that it was a forfeit one. Never mind. I thought it was good. I thought that was a good game, but it was a forfeit. But yeah, Coffeyville Dodge City was my game of the week last week. That was such a great performance by both teams in terms of defense.
Mm-hmm. It really was, man. And let's see what Coffeyville can do. Can they make a run for it? We'll see. But as of right now, these top teams, I feel like we're pretty set in stone. And I don't know, Teran, even though Hutchinson lost, I still low key feel like we're going to get. We are definitely going to freaking get um Iowa Western in Hutchinson. I guess I feel it, man.
Yep.
I don't know. I guess right, Teran. I mean,
It's inevitable.
it really is inevitable, man. I mean, like I said, last year they went at it. They played in the regular season like 2 times already. They played last year in the semis. I mean, and then last year, I mean, Iowa Western just went on and destroyed East Mississippi 61-14 in the national championship game. So I guess I don't know, man. East for good old Western Iowa. Sorry, they're playing great right now. So we'll see what happens. But okay, so moving forward though, Teran, today we got some okay ones. You know, Iowa Western got they got Ellsworth. Okay, maybe. I mean, Ellsworth isn't the greatest team in the world, but Iowa Western is just looking to pat those stats and keep it up there and stay number one now. Georgia Military and Lackawanna, a little ranked on ranked battle right there, a little fun game. But a game that I want to single in on, obviously right now we have the MACCC finals. This is the Mississippi, their conference. And well, Mississippi Gulf Coast will be taking on Northwest Mississippi. This is number 4 versus number 5, I believe. And this is it, man. These Mississippi teams are tough. Let's see if one of these can emerge and be the national champions this year. But they're going head to head. And then that's really it, dude. I mean, Highlands taking on Hutchinson. I mean, Hutchinson should win that game. And then Garden City and Iowa Central. Iowa Central just fell off the wagon this year. And Garden City, I mean, yeah, they weren't too impressive either this year at all. Neither of those teams are on the top, but we just, I wanted to mention them because, well, we've talked about them in the past. So, but yeah, anyway, Teran, low key sleepy kind of week here on the NJCAA. But yeah, what are you thinking?
Yeah, I think it's unique that the MACC has a semifinal to determine their conference champion. I think that's very unique and
cool, right?
I want to see like other conferences do this for like maybe the 3C2A or the NJCAA and whatnot. I mean, but I guess it all depends on like number of games that you're playing and whatnot. So Navarro and New Mexico Military Institute is also kind of an underrated matchup as well for me.
And that's a crazy one, man. The Bronco Busters, I believe, is what they are. New Mexico. I mean, Teran, we talked about them. They're national champion winners a couple years ago. They won it all a couple years back, and hats off to those guys. And good old Navarro, I mean, I can't remember the last time they won a title, but I do know Navarro is a sleepy good team, man. They're out of that DFW area. They're a Texas school. They get a lot of that local talent. These guys that don't get those Division I offers from Duncanville, from Crowley, from North Crowley. You know what I mean? Like these guys play at DeSoto and they play, and then, hey, it's just like us. If you don't get that big, that's why RCC is so damn good. You know what I mean? You got these teams who, yes, your top guys, they got everything. They're obviously athletic, they're strong, they are fast, they got speed, they got all of that. Well, those are the guys who signed to SC, to Arizona State, you know what I mean? Those are the guys who signed to UCLA and UNLV and San Diego State. But then what about all the rest of us? We have pretty much everything else. We're just 5'9". You know what I mean? Or they're bounce backs that didn't quite make it and now they're back. They all go to RCC. They go to Mount San Jacinto. They go to Mount Sac, right? You know what I mean? Like,
yep.
And that's why these teams are so damn good, because you're getting talent that just it's like a little, I hate to say this, junior college is low key, or grades. That's the biggest one, Teran, grades. Freakish athlete, greatest 435-pound bench press, 615-pound squat, runs a 4.540. What else? That's all. What about the grades? Don't talk about that.
Student comes before athlete in the word student athlete.
Exactly. If you get all of that and have a 2.1 core GPA, probably not getting into that place up there on your hat, Teran. You know what I mean? You're probably not going to getting into those schools, man. So you got to do it all. And that's right. It's not athlete student, it's student athlete. So a lot of us too, hey, sometimes grades just aren't there and you got to pick them up at the junior college. So what I'm saying is, but that's what we call it last chance U. It is our last chance to get into those bigger schools. And that's where all this comes in. So these schools, man, like I said, Navarro, I mean, some of these schools are just feeders. Tyler, these schools, those big Texas schools, man. You know what I mean? That's why you look at guys. I mean, my gosh, isn't it crazy? You look at, who goes to Mount Sac, Teran? A lot of those guys who played at Modern Day who just didn't get a deal or didn't get the deal they wanted. They'll go over there. They go to Golden West. They go to, you know what I mean? Like, it's not that far. I mean, it is, but it isn't. They go to Fullerton College. They go to like I said, I've seen guys, from those schools, Fullerton, Golden West. Teran probably wishes they went to OCC. Just kidding. Santa Ana, you know what I mean? Like those schools. And the same thing here. Corona Centennial. You know how many guys at RCC played at Centennial, Norco, Vista Marietta, you know what I mean? Like these are guys, so I'm just saying
Temecula Valley.
Temecula Valley, and we all end up at the junior college, and well, you get a lot of guys who just fell by the wayside on one team. They're gonna kick ass. You know what I mean? So I'm just saying, man. So that's why junior colleges are so exciting. So anyway, man, there we go. A little bit of spiel in NJCAA action. But NAIA, man, let's go ahead and jump on into the good old NAIA, man. This past week, let's go ahead and get into our stars, man, for this week. I love this little segment, man. We talk about those champs, those dudes from last week, man. I gotta love the dudes, right? And for some reason, I can't find them. Oh, Teran, I don't think there's any dudes from this past week. Ain't that something? Bummer. Okay, well, nobody put anything on here. Whatever. But let's go and talk about the top 25 at least, or at least the top 10 for us. Kaiser stays out top. I mean, they're 7-0. The reigning champions last year. They got it done, dude. They beat Northwestern 31-21. I'm almost positive they're going to do it again if they just stay healthy and keep doing their thing. 7-0. Then we have Grandview, of course, 8-0. Indiana Wesleyan, 8-1. Montana Western, 7-1. And St. Thomas out of Florida at 7-1. And then that finished off the top 10. We have Morningside at 8-1. Dort at 7-1. Hey, Dort. Mid-America Nazarene out of Kansas. They are 8-0. Texas Wesleyan 8-0, and then number 10 Montana Tech 7-2. Teran, I mean, you gotta love it, right? You gotta love the NAIA because it's so unpredictable. We have been riding high on Dort the last couple of weeks, and it's been a lot of fun. But looking back at last week, man, we look at some of these matchups, and once again, this is all getting ready for the playoffs. All these teams right now are getting in that top 10. Everybody's just fighting for the best playoff seed they can right now. Some teams just realize they're going to chalk it up to a whatever. I know there is bowl games, I believe, with the NAIA, right? But I mean, obviously these guys want the playoff. And last week, I mean, it was a sleepy-ish week. We didn't really say, oh, it's going to be a banger or whatever. But for the most part, the NAIA is pretty much going to stay where it is. Now, the one game that we were excited for 2 games last week. Dort, obviously, we were just going to see, like, okay, obviously they're going to win. How much will they win by? They ended up defeating Briar Cliff 55-7. And then Morningside, man, we talked about this last week being the Battle of Iowa. Morningside taking on Northwestern. And, dude, they did it, Teran. They freaking did it. They did it, man. Morningside defeats Northwestern 13-7 last week, and that's what happened to those guys, how they dropped off a little bit. But, dude, I mean, Northwestern now, I mean, they're not in a situation, but these guys were champions 2 years ago. They lost the championship this year. Morningside. I mean, how about that, Teran? Freaking Morningside gets that done.
Yeah, that was an instant classic right there. Great defense played by both teams. Nice little rivalry match between 2 Iowa schools, and that's what you love to see. I was very impressed by Morningside and how they were able to defend home field against Northwestern, and I was just impressed by that. Was definitely the game of the week right there. That was the impressive performance of the week because we got a lot of blowouts here. A lot of teams running up the score and whatnot. So.
Give me in the playoffs.
Yes.
And you're right. You're absolutely right, Teran. I mean, this is what puts now Northwestern dropped to number 13, dude. They were 9. Now they're just taking a tumble. Rough go for these guys, man. But Morningside now, they find themselves at number 6. Those guys, man, those Broncos of Morningside or Mustangs, I'm really excited to see them this year. They won the championship, 2019, I think, or 2020. So they're coming back for another one, man. Let's see if they can get it done. Benedictine and freaking Mid-American Nazarene. We talked about that. We've been talking about Mid-American Nazarene, and they got that. That was man, if you ever want people who love offensive games, that was your game. Mid-American Nazarene wins this thing. They're in Olathe, Kansas. They defeated Benedictine 48-47 last week. Man, talk about a high-scoring football game there. But obviously, once again, This is why Nazarene has climbed the ladder. They were number 8 now. They were 12. Now they've climbed themselves to number 8. And good old Benedictine, man, these guys, rough go for these guys. They were 7. Now they're 11. So, just rough starts, not really rough start for the season. I'm sorry. Rough start in that game for them. And, well, that was pretty much it. They put a stamp on it and didn't win it. But overall, though, man, that was really it. A couple games. Let me see here. Montana Tech. Wait, were they in there? No, that is not. Wrong Montana. Yeah, no, they were 13. Now they're 10. Montana Tech in the big victory over Arizona Christian 56-24. And you're right, Teran. I feel like that's it. They're trying to pad the stats a little bit and run up the scores because they're trying to prove that they belong in that tournament.
Yeah.
I hate that, but whatever. So anyway, Teran. So NAIA, man, this week. Well, let's see what we got, man. I really it's all about placement now, as we've been saying. This is going to be consistent throughout all of the next couple segments. All about just placement. Where can they find themselves, and where will these teams be placed in that tournament? They're coming up. NAIA, everything's they start at the end of November, basically around Thanksgiving, and that's it. Who can go where? Who's going to be placed where? Get the best matchup you possibly can. Do not lose right now at all. Number one. Number two thing, score points. Make everybody look stupid if you can, so you can get a good high seed. Northwestern, Teran, I think this is actually their last chance. Today, Northwestern takes on Dordt. A little Iowa battle here. Dordt, we know they've been climbing the ladder. They've been playing well. Well, Teran, Dordt is sitting at number 7. They're good to go. They're 7-1. Their only loss is the Morningside. I think this year they're playing good football. They're getting it, man. I'm proud of these guys. They're playing great football. They've been our sleeper of the year. But on the other side of this coin, you have Northwestern. They're 6-2. It's a 16-team playoff. But Teran, Northwestern is number 13 right now. If they lose another game, especially, you're going to lose to Dordt. If they could actually lose to Dordt because Dort's that good. Teran, is it safe to say that Northwestern's out of the playoff if they lose this game to Dordt today?
Yes. I think they're out, definitely. You just can't afford too many losses, especially at this point of the season.
It hurts because I was cheering on the Northwestern, man. They were one of my running jokes with the Raiders, dude. They're the Red Raiders. But
because some Raiders have to be good.
Yeah, but these Raiders are bad now. And it's like they're getting Raideritis. You can't have Raideritis. No. You know what I mean? So anyway, it's there. But but yeah, I'm almost positive. This is a must-win game for Northwestern today. They have to win this damn game. They have to beat Dordt. And really that to me is that's like the story of the week this week. It cannot be any different. Morningside is at Waldorf. I'm sure they're probably going to win that thing and continue their winning ways. But yeah, Teran, I just don't see much more this week. But I do know that has to be the game. And it's so big because you're looking at such a decorated Northwestern team who has they came out of nowhere in the last couple of years. And now it's like they're looking at the early exit in week freaking 9 of the season, in these last 2 weeks. So anyway, Teran, it's going to be some fun stuff. But any other games that you feel are notable?
Not really. Does not look like it.
Yeah, not me either. I guess if you want to mention any other ones, but yeah, I didn't see any others that were looking, too fun this week. But okay, we'll flip it on over to some D3 football because, man, Teran, D3 does not disappoint, man. D3 is always fun. And well, here we go. Man, we're looking at these top schools right now. Of course, North Central, they are number 1 out of Illinois. Cortland, St. John's, Mount Union, Hardin-Simmons, Susquehanna, Salisbury, Wisconsin Platteville, Wisconsin Oshkosh, and DePaul rounding out that top 10. You look at these guys, Teran. Look at this Division 3. And I love what I see. I love, we're getting close here too, where we're getting to the very tail end of the season. Last week, Susquehanna, we once again, we knew they were going to get a nice victory, and they looked good. They 49-34 over Moravian. And then you have number 11 Endicott. They're still there, but they beat Nichols 50-10 last week. Cortland defeats Hartwick 60-10. So it's a running groove here, Teran. We're seeing these top teams just finish off the season. They're trying to get these big bloods because once again, they're about placement too. These guys are all about let's just do our best. I mean, look at these scores. My gosh, number 23, Wheaton destroyed Elmhurst 65-17. Number 1, North Central 56-3 over Carroll. I mean, look at Marietta. We talked about them obviously, Marietta College earlier because they'll be taking on Mount Union today, but 52-6 over Wilmington. Mount Union 54-0 over Capital. So it's all about placement, placement. Where can we go? I mean, 70-0. My gosh, St. John's, the Johnnies over St. Scholastica. I mean, craziness, man. And then you got these games that we were like, oh, it's gonna be a sleeper, fun game. Last week we talked about number 20 Lacrosse and Stout. Well, Lacrosse pulled that thing off 33-11. Big victory there for Lacrosse. And then, of course, we talk about River Falls and Whitewater. Wouldn't you know it? River Falls, they get knocked off, and they're not in that top 10 any longer. Whitewater, we talked about that being a must-win for any hopes of anything this year for these guys. They won it at home in a tough battle, 13-7. Mayor Hardin Baylor gets that victory. They're moving on up. And really, that's it. No upsets, and we continue on. So, yeah, Teran, I mean, looking at Division III, man, I mean, was there any surprises to you last week or anything that you want to bring up for those guys last week?
The only thing that was surprising is that we didn't get to see any upsets. Every team that was ranked did not lose. So it kind of takes away from the dramatics, but it shows the consistency from all those teams and that they know that one loss could pretty much just derail their playoff chances.
It's so true, Teran. And that's what you're telling your team right now, right? I mean, your coach Rodriguez, hey, guys, look, we want a good seed. We are not calling the dogs off today. We are going to, if they pull a trine and let us score 99 points on them, we don't care. We will score every point we possibly can. That's all there is to it. Because like I said, I mean, it sucks, but that's what the committee looks at. I feel like, Teran, how dominant are they? How many points can they score? How many? And I mean, it sucks because I don't know. I feel bad for the teams that are getting destroyed. Obviously, you're on the same field, so you need to fight them. But at the same time, it's like, man, some of these teams are like, okay, we're dead already. So I don't know, Teran. I don't know. But regardless, hey, you're on the field, so you got to fight. But Teran, today in Division III, here we go again, dude. We got you're right. Last week, all these ranked teams won. Today, Elmhurst versus North Central. North Central's probably gonna put up freaking 70 on these guys. Mary Hardin Baylor versus Hardin Simmons. Like I said, Mary Hardin Baylor, they have disappeared for a little bit, but this is their chance for redemption. They have to win this damn game. They have to keep on climbing because they want to find themselves in those playoffs. The Crusaders, man, the crew they haven't been themselves the last couple of years, so they need to get back in there. Whitewater and Lacrosse today. Once again, Whitewater. This is redemption. They've lost this year. They haven't been their best. If they want any, and Lacrosse is not that team. So obviously, that's a big in-state rivalry. They have to win that damn thing. St. Olaf, I don't want to pronounce that, but OLAF versus St. John's. St. Olaf. Big victory here, or big game here. The victor of this game. I mean, obviously, big playoff implications there. Stout versus Oshkosh, the two Wisconsin schools right there, and going head-to-head. I like this one. The Pacific Lutheran Lutes taking on Linfield. I don't even think that's ranked on rank, but that's a West Coast battle over here. But yeah, Teran, I mean, but the big one obviously today, Marietta and Mount Union. I mean, Teran, if there was ever a game for Marietta, right? If there was ever a game.
Yep, that's the game that they have to come up big in. You also can't forget about Mary Hardin Baylor and Hardin Simmons.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's probably going to be a very good matchup right there because Mary Hardin Baylor used to be up there, and now they're kind of in that not so big echelon, but they're still good enough to be ranked. So I think that's going to be a great matchup for those two.
No, without a doubt, man. I just went over that, and I mean, we in the coming weeks. I mean, really, there's not a lot here, in the last couple of weeks. I mean, we're looking ahead at next week. I mean, Howard Payne and Mary Hardin Baylor, so they got to keep on winning. Platteville and Stout could be big next week. But just looking ahead, Teran, I mean, this is it. I mean, Marietta and John Carroll. Oh, my gosh, Marietta's got to run the gauntlet, man. They got Mount Union this week. They got John Carroll next week. Oh, rough go for those guys. But looking ahead, I mean, and that's it. Then we're off to the playoffs. So, I mean, this is it. Last couple of weeks, Division 3 should be a lot of fun. But I think Division 3 is kind of spelled out for us, Teran. You mentioned how they got all the ranked teams won, last week and everything like that. I mean, obviously, I think it's pretty spelled out for us. And we're obviously going to have those teams who just show out and do their thing. And, well, there you have it. So, anyway, so what you thinking so far, man? I mean, is that trend of showing up and showing out looking pretty solid here for all these teams?
Yeah, I think so. I think that a lot of these teams are kind of fighting for their playoffs lives, and a lot of teams are going to try to push the envelope to try to make their case for the playoffs. So there you have it.
No, it really is, man. So moving on to D2 before we take our last break of the show here. But yeah, D2 football, man. Last week, oh man, we had some fun ones this week. At least I could see a few of them. But last week, Teran, we talked about a somewhat of a sleepy week here, but we did have a couple of bangers, and we did talk about this Colorado matchup here, man. Number 10, Pueblo. Colorado Pueblo taking on Western Colorado. And boy, that one did not disappoint. It was an upset. Number 10, Pueblo got it done, defeating Western Colorado 44-34. I mean, oh my gosh, again, here we go. Down goes Western Colorado. It is a playoff, though. They'll probably still get in, but that one hurt a little bit. And then, of course, the upset hurt around the Division II world. Central Missouri did it, dude. Freaking Central Missouri got it done. And they got it done in freaking fashion, man. Central Missouri, the little team that could they did not just beat number one. They dominated number one, dude. Central Missouri defeats Pittsburgh State 37-13, dude. Unfortunately for Pittsburgh State, that one's going to sting, man. Unranked, not only did an unranked team beat you, but you got beat down by an unranked team. I mean, Darren, that's a rough go, man. It is a very rough go.
Yeah, I just think that sometimes some of these teams have clunker games and games that nothing just goes their way. We all have games like that. So, but you got to give credit to Central Missouri. They really brought it against Pittsburgh State.
No, it's true. And big ups to those guys, man. I really hope that they're better ranked this week. But yeah, man, I mean, there were some good ones. Obviously, Central Oklahoma really got challenged, man. They are number 9. They got challenged versus Missouri Western. 37-34 took overtime for that game. Grand Valley, the Lakers looked pretty good, man. 51-28 last week over Wayne State. So like I said, that was the upset that just shocked everybody, because I couldn't believe that happened. I really, really didn't think that Pittsburgh State was I didn't think they were gonna lose any games. They've been so dang dominant, but I guess sometimes you're just due for those games that sucks, but you're due for those. Another game, this one isn't as crazy because they're number 13, but still, Emporia State, man, they had their share of some good wins this year. They lose to Fort Hays, unranked Fort Hays, 36-7 last week at home too. So nasty losses there for some of these teams from last week, Darren. But dude, you gotta love it, man. D2 does not disappoint.
Yeah, absolutely. And Central Oklahoma held on against Missouri Western. So
right.
I think this was kind of an exciting week for Division II. And it was the week where teams that were ranked were either upset or were nearly upset.
No, it's true. I mean, man, we can keep on going to Fayetteville State. One of my buddies played there. St. John's, they beat Johnson C. Smith, number 19, 27-0. Lenore Ryan lost one. Then they're number 16. They lost 14-10 to Wingate. They're unranked. I mean, Darren, we can keep going, bro. I mean, this is crazy, right? Like, the upsets were alive and well last week. They said, though it was a sleepy week, non-ranked on ranked, these ranked versus non-ranked games did not disappoint and delivered some crazy upsets. There you have it. And then, of course, moving forward into the into the rankings so far. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, oh my gosh, it's nuts. The top 25 poll, man. it's crazy to see this. We got obviously Fair State, Valdosta State cuts down Grand Valley, Harding, Colorado Pueblo, or CSU Pueblo, Central Oklahoma, Pittsburgh State, man, they have now fallen to 8. Ouch. Charleston, and then Augustana. It's crazy to see it, man. It's really crazy to see that. But going into this week, Taryn, ranked on ranks. I mean, I don't know who's going to be the team who to lose to an unranked. Okay, I don't want to. I guess your guess is as good as mine here. But if there is a team that can do it, if there is one, it's a Michigan battle. Saginaw Valley, they're taking on Ferris State, number one. If anybody has a chance of knocking off a big, higher, rank or a big ranked team, especially the number one team, Saginaw Valley, bro. That team is such a sleeper. These guys, they have everything. They're a hell of a team. They just get some tough breaks, but for some reason they can battle these bigger seeds. So I don't know, that's huge. But yeah, number 23 Sioux Falls and number 10 Augustana, ranked on ranked battle for you guys there. But really, I mean, when you take a look at it, I don't know. I mean, once again, all playoff push deals this week. I mean, the ranked on ranks really won't even matter that much because I think at this point in time, if you're high enough ranked, you'll still make the playoffs. Colorado School of Mines, they're hanging on. They're at number 21. They're not, they're still kind of black, but they're taking on number 6 Colorado Pueblo. If Pueblo loses this game, Colorado School of Mines I think is back in business somewhat, but that's just gonna freaking really take down Pueblo because they've been having a hell of a year. But yeah, anyway, is there any other big matchups you got for us for D2?
I want to see how Ferris State fares as the number 1 team. Saginaw Valley is going to be playing with house money on the road. So let's see how Ferris State does this week. I'm sure Ferris State will win, but you never know.
And that's
Other
always
than that,
fun.
It does not look like there's Sioux Falls against Augustana. You probably mentioned that one, but yeah, that's a ranked on ranked matchup right there. No.
Right? That's what I'm saying. Like, we have some good games, but so overall, man, I'm really, really, really excited though for some of these. That Saginaw Valley game, I don't know. I don't think it has upset written on it, but it definitely has like thriller written on it.
Eye catcher right there.
Yeah, that's a fun one because, rivalry, bro. I don't care. It's a rivalry. I don't care. I do not care. In those games where USC took on UCLA and USC was very high ranked and UCLA wasn't, I don't care, bro. That's a rivalry. Yep. UCLA is trying to take your cookies, man. I don't care. They could lose 10 games that year. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter. So, yeah, man, I'm just saying, like, these rivalries, bro. So, anyway, man. You know what? Let's go ahead and cover really fast before we head on over to our picks and all that good stuff. Let's go ahead and cover good old FCS. Teran, I don't know, man. FCS it's been really fun this year. Obviously, it's the Dakota show, right there. It's the Dakota show right now. I got South Dakota, North Dakota, all those Dakotas. But yeah, man, I without a doubt love watching these. But yeah, man, I mean, we take a look at these rankings and bro, I mean, oh my gosh, great stuff all the way around. We know that in the FCS, North Dakota State has retaken the top spot. They're looking strong. The Bison, I mean, but once again, there's a playoff, so we'll see. But Montana follows up after them. South Dakota State, the team, the 2-time champions the last couple of years, while they've fallen a little bit, including a loss to North Dakota State in the recent weeks. UC Davis continues to just dominate, dude. They're looking great. I'm so excited to see a California team in there. South Dakota, obviously, Southeast Missouri State, Montana, Incarnate Word, Richmond, and Rhode Island to round out that top 10. But yeah, Teran. So this week, man, I mean, or last week, I mean, how about the FCS, man? Last week, I mean, obviously you got your cupcake games, if you will, which I hate saying that, but there were some fun ones. We had a really crappy game that ended up being a fun game. NorCal versus Oregon. Portland State and Sacramento State. I just wanted to bring that one up because it looked like a fun high-scoring game where Portland State won that thing on the road 58-38. I just wanted to bring it up, looks like fun. Overall, I mean, not much. You look at UC Davis, just continuing to dominate, defeating North Colorado 59-7. I love what this team brings to the table. They've really done well. North Dakota State dominating. I mean, everybody just looks like they're firing all cylinders. This is the hitting the poor horses, but they're over there. This is the whipping at the end of the horse race. So, the final sprint, if you will, to make them playoffs. Last week, nothing out of the ordinary. And then into this week, obviously, we should get some big ones. The one that got me is just the fall of North Dakota. It's kind of hard because I really thought they would win this game, and now they put themselves in a weird position now because I don't think they're making the playoffs at all. They've lost 4 games, 5-4, but they lost to Indiana State 35-31. So of those Dakota teams, they're the team who really kind of fell off, and it sucks because I really wanted to see all 4 of those teams get in there and play well. But obviously North Dakota, South Dakota State, they played extremely well last week, and just a bummer from North Dakota. So what do you think, man, about the FCS at the moment?
Yeah, I expected a little better from Northern Iowa, but North Dakota State really dominated. I was very impressed by them. Also, we had South Dakota State. That was a big win right there. Though I didn't expect anything from Murray State, sadly. This isn't basketball we're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, Montana State did pretty good against Eastern Washington. As you mentioned, Davis handled Northern Colorado. So, I think that those were to be expected. And Montana obviously rolled past Cal Poly.
Yeah, Cal Poly, they weren't ready for those guys. So, but like I said, I'm just bummed out with the downfall of the Hawks, man. The Fighting Hawks. I expected more out of them this year. I wanted to see those Dakota schools, all 4 of them, get in there and ball. It just sucks. I mean, South Dakota, the Coyotes, they're still doing it. Indiana State last week. Indiana State handled North Dakota. Well, this week they're playing South Dakota. Can this be it? Can they win this thing? And if Indiana State wins this damn game, I think they're going to find themselves. They're at 500 at that point in time, but I think they're going to find themselves in the playoffs. South Dakota, they'll probably be in the playoffs regardless, but I don't know. But a question that I have for you, Teran, is today. South Dakota State, they're 7-2. They're human. Okay, they've lost a couple of games, kind of rough on them, but today they're taking on North Dakota, the Fighting Hawks. Like I said, you gotta love these Dakota games. I just mentioned North Dakota not being that great this year and kind of falling off. Teran, if somehow, some way, North Dakota beats the freaking Jacks of South Dakota State at home today in Grand Forks, North Dakota, do the Fighting Hawks? Can you leave them out of the playoffs? Or do you say, is what it is? But now are you looking at South Dakota State a lot more different? I mean, what do you think about all that?
I think you'd be looking at South Dakota State a whole lot different because they're the juggernaut of FCS. And then losing to a North Dakota team that hasn't been great all season for the most part, that would be pretty questionable.
If somehow, some way.
Yeah, if they lose.
I don't know how the hell they do this, but if the Fighting Hawks win this thing, they're 6 and oh my gosh, what would they be, Teran? Oh my gosh. But the Fighting Hawks, they're 5-4 right now. They'll be 6-4. If they somehow win this thing, can you leave North Dakota out of the playoffs?
Yeah,
that's hard.
Yeah, it is very difficult. But yeah, these last few weeks are going to really determine who's going to be in the playoffs and who's going to be left out and who's going to be seated where. Yeah, all these teams are basically fighting for all that sort of thing.
Exactly. But the question, though, do you leave them out? If North Dakota somehow beats South Dakota, they're 6-4. They're not doing that great. Do you still leave them out?
That would probably be the case just because they already have 2 losses. And losing to a North Dakota team like that, I kind of feel you need to leave them out.
That's a hard one, right? Obviously, we have UC Davis taking on Montana. That's my game of the week, man.
Yes.
UC Davis, oh my gosh, and Montana, the Grizzlies. Teran, this is a pick'em game, man. What do you think? Who you got?
I got Davis winning.
Me too. I think I'm just on the feel-good story. I want to see them win. I think they can do it. This is it, though, man. The Grizzlies, this is uncharted territory. UC Davis, I don't think has ever been this damn good. They might have been, but they haven't been this great.
Probably back in the day, like maybe the 90s or the 2000s, early 2000s.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. But the Grizzlies, dude, they know. They've been here. They know what this is. So what is it? You know what I mean? Like, what do you think? Like, so I personally feel that Davis, this is their challenge. This is their battle. So let's see. But anyway, Teran, let's go ahead and put a stamp on it, man. take our last break, come back, make some picks, and then we're out of here, brother. So let's do it. You're listening to 3 and Out College Edition right here on iSports Radio, your direct feed for all that sports. We'll be right back after this.
Hey sports fans, do you like wine? Well, we've got the show for you. This is Let's Wine About Sports, a show where we talk about wine and sports simultaneously. From the classic Cabernet Sauvignon all the way down to the grapes that you've never even heard of before. Oh yeah, we cover it all. And we'll talk about a little bit of sports as well. Football, hockey, collegiate, women's sports, it doesn't matter. We're going to talk about it all, and we're going to whine about it all. So join me Monday at 8 p.m. on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
It's IE Sports Radio. It is your direct feed for all that is sports. It is Philly Sports Talk with Cash and Chris every Tuesday night right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Philly Sports Talk with Cash and Chris is the most comprehensive view on Philadelphia sports exclusively right here on IE Sports Radio. You know what it is, your direct feed for all that is sports. Tuesday night, IE Sports Radio, Philly Sports Talk with Cash and Chris.
Let's go, y'all. Gotta love it, man, here at IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Thank you for tuning in, man. Shout out to all of our awesome shows here. A part of the network. Teran's playing catch with his Charger football over there.
Sorry.
There you go, Teran. It's all good. No, it's football time, man. I'm telling you, Teran's over there. I guess let's go. I'm trying to catch the ball. So, Teran, let's get it, bro. We got ourselves some picks to make, man. Let's have ourselves some fun. But before we do that, we are going to go ahead and jump on into some of the games from this past week. You got to love these early week games, man. My gosh, Tuesday night football. Screw it, right? Bowling Green defeats Central Michigan, the Chippewas. Yeah, 23-13. Same night, Miami of Ohio defeats Ball State, 27-21. On Wednesday, we had Ohio defeating Kent State 41-0. Still winless Kent State out. Northern Illinois defeating Western Michigan 42-28. And then, of course, we have here good old Coastal Carolina defeating App State 38-24, and East Carolina defeating Florida Atlantic 49-14. Thursday night football, if you will. All right. And then, of course, yesterday, Cal, man, I was watching a little bit of this game. Cal defeats the Wake Forest 46-36. UCLA defeating Iowa Western. Wow. I'm still in the NCAA, guys. UCLA defeating Iowa 20-17 because UCLA had to win a game, right? They haven't won forever, it feels. So anyway, Memphis in their really cool uniforms defeat Rice 27-20. And then, of course, New Mexico defeating San Diego State 21-16 because San Diego State just sucks this year. So, yeah, any thoughts on those games, Terry?
Yeah, UCLA beating Iowa wasn't too surprising. I feel UCLA did a great job of stopping the run. And don't look now, but UCLA's won 3 straight. And they could very well be bowl game eligible because their last few games are very winnable. They've got Washington at Washington. They host USC. and then they have Fresno State to close out the season. So UCLA could very well turn around their season and become bowl game eligible.
It's totally possible, which is crazy, right? But we'll see, man. But Terry, let's make ourselves some picks, man. We got all kinds of picks to make here. Lots of teams, lots of games. So let's do it, man. Starting things off, Purdue at 1-7, taking on the 7-1 number 2 Ohio State Buckeyes. I'm going Boilermakers. I'm sorry. That was pretty good. Terry, how much are they going to win by?
This one might be over by halftime.
It might even be a first quarter game, Terry. I don't even know. But yeah, Ohio State wins this one huge.
Yeah, I'm taking the Buckeyes.
Big time. Number 4, Miami. Number 9. Number 4, Miami, 9-0, taking on Georgia Tech at 5-4. They're going to win this game, Taryn. And their fans are going to keep on saying they're back.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, no, go ahead.
I think Georgia Tech can challenge them. If Georgia Tech runs the ball effectively like they did against Florida State, I think Georgia Tech can very well pull off the upset. But for now, I'm picking Miami. They're the safe pick.
Yeah, without a doubt, dude. Miami, yeah, I'm almost positive. I would love to see Georgia Tech pull this thing off. It'd be nice, but we'll see. But Florida versus number 5, Texas. I don't know why. I feel like this one could be really fun, but I still have the Longhorns coming out on top.
Texas is winning this one.
Yeah, it shouldn't be any more difficult than that, right? So Minnesota at 6-3, Rutgers at 4-4. What do you think?
I'm taking Minnesota. Rutgers has lost 4 straight after they went 4-0. Give me the Golden Gophers in that strong defense of theirs.
Yeah, me too. I think the Golden Gophers will win this thing. Syracuse 6-2, Boston College at 4-4. What do you think?
I gotta take Q's on this one.
It'd be cool to see Boston College posting off at home, but I think Syracuse is too strong. So good call there. West Virginia at 4-4, Cincinnati at 5-3. That's actually a pretty fun game. That's a tough
it's actually going to be a pretty solid game, but I'll take Cincinnati.
Yeah, I think Cincinnati will pull this thing off, but it'd be a lot of fun. So Texas State at 4-4, you all are up 5-3. That's another fun game.
Yep, Sunbelt, Funbelt. I'll take Texas State. Sick 'em.
Yeah, I think so too. These guys are pretty solid. These Bobcats are pretty good. So Navy, who has just been so impressive this year, man, they're freaking 6-2. South Florida at 4-4. I cannot not pick the midshipmen.
Yeah, give me Navy to beat South Florida.
Yeah, it's. I just feel that's that. Liberty at 5-2, Mid Tennessee at 3-6. Damn it, some Raiders just suck.
Yep,
like the actual Raiders. So yeah, I'll take
Liberty to win this one.
Go Flames. UConn at 6-3, UAB at 2-6. That's just a great game, isn't it, Darren?
Yep, UConn's gonna win this one. The basketball school will come out on top and slay the Dragons.
I like that. Good one. Slay the Dragons. Yeah, for sure. The thundering herd of Marshall at 5-3, 1-7, Mississippi State. Oh no.
Yeah, give me Marshall for this one.
Marshall should beat them down. We have an early one here, man. A fun one. SEC matchup, ABC, ESPN Plus. Number 3, Georgia at 7-1. Number 16, Ole Miss at 7-2. This should be fun. I think the Bulldogs will come out on top here, but I don't know, man. This could actually be some fireworks.
I think Ole Miss keeps it close, but Georgia pulls away in the end.
Great call, because I really think that's pretty much what's going to happen. Michigan at 5-4, they're just fighting for whatever they can now. Well, they're one game away from bowl eligibility. But then you have number 8, Indiana. Dude, Indiana, the Hoosiers came out of nowhere this year. So I don't know. Can Michigan do this thing on the road?
No. Indiana's going to win. I think Curtis Rourke is back. Michigan struggles outside of the big house. Give me those Hoosiers.
Yeah, without a doubt. Hoosiers all day. Number 17, Iowa State, 7-1. Kansas at 2-6. This is I hate this because I wanted this to be a good game a long time ago. Now it's just probably going to be a freaking blowout.
Iowa State's going to bounce back big time. If not, then we're going to see a massive collapse here.
Yeah, I'm almost positive. Let's go Cyclones. Number 23, Clemson, who just they had their window and now it's closed. 6-2, number 23, Clemson, taking on 5-4, Virginia Tech. I don't know, Teran. Could this be sneaky good, or is Clemson just going to be okay?
I think Clemson will be okay. I don't think they're going to blow out Virginia Tech. I feel this one's just going to be a good, clean win. But Clemson's downfall must be studied in terms of their loss to Louisville.
And that would be, yeah, that's for dang sure. Well, Navy did fall off a little bit, but freaking Army, man, they're hanging on. Number 25, they're undefeated. They're taking on the Mean Green.
As much as I loved North Texas, I gotta go with Army in this one.
Yeah, I'm sure the Black Knights will win this thing on the road. We have 6-3 Duke taking on 5-4 NC State. ACC.
You know what? I'm gonna take NC State.
Yeah, that's a really fun game, actually. A little North Carolina battle right there. I like that one. That's fun. But yeah, I gotta go NC State in this one too. We have San Jose State at 5-3, Oregon State at 4-4. This sucks. I mean, 15 years ago, this wouldn't have even been a question. The WAC was still around. But I don't know, Teran. This is a pick 'em
I'll
game.
take Oregon State just to be safe.
I'm gonna go Corvallis too. I think they can win this thing very. I don't know. It could be a slim margin. 2-6 Georgia State versus 6-2 James Madison.
Give me James Madison easy.
Go Dukes. Number 20 Colorado taking on Texas Tech. Both teams are. Oh no, they're not. Colorado 6-2. Texas Tech is 6-3.
Even though Texas Tech is coming off of a big win last week, I gotta take Colorado just to be safe. Colorado is in prime position to make the Big 12 championship, so they need this win big time.
Oh, they do. 1-7 Kennesaw State taking on 1-8 UTEP. Teran, somebody's gonna win their second game of the freaking season this week.
I hate to say this, but this is probably this week's toilet bowl. Give me UTEP.
Yeah, give me UTEP in the Sun Bowl because they're at home. Like that's literally it. So Temple at 2-7, Tulane at 7-2, or 2-6 Temple. That's really sad. Tulane's gonna rock and roll these guys.
Yeah, Tulane's gonna spin the block on Temple.
I'm positive they will. But Teran, this is a fun one because in baseball, it was the College World Series a few times. This is a fun baseball game. Well, for the first time in a long time, I think we can say it's going to be a fun football game. SEC right here should be a classic. 5-3 South Carolina taking on 6-3 Vandy.
I'll take Vanderbilt. I know South Carolina had that big win over Texas A&M, but Vanderbilt is still on one.
They are. I'm going to say South Carolina just to be different, but I don't know. That's going to be a fun freaking game. Jacksonville State 5-3. Louisiana Tech 3-5. What you thinking?
I'm thinking J State.
Yeah, I'm sure too. But La Tech, man, hopefully they give a good fight in this one. Arkansas State 5-3. Louisiana at 7-1. The Raging Cajuns have been impressive this year.
Yeah, give me those Raging Cajuns.
Yeah, they look impressive. So, Western Kentucky, go Hilltoppers, right? Taking on the Aggies of New Mexico State. Wow, 2-6 versus 6-2. I'm sure. I mean, if somehow New Mexico State wins this game, wow. But no, they're 4-0 in the Conference USA. Western Kentucky should win this one easy.
Yeah, Western Kentucky wins this one easy.
Yeah, that's for sure. Maryland at 4-4, taking on the number one team in the land, Oregon at 9-0. Is this a question?
Gotta take the O.
Taking the O because they're going to be pretty damn dominant. Then, of course, we have Mississippi State 2-7, still kind of dangerous somewhat, taking on number 7 Tennessee at 7-1. Rocky Top, this has just been a weird year for them. I want to say they're really, really good, but something's keeping me from saying that. Regardless, though, Teran, what do you think?
I can't believe we are subjected to watch this on national TV. Give me Tennessee in this one.
Yeah, big time. UCF at 4-5, Arizona State at 6-2.
I'll take those Sun Devils.
Yeah, I'm sure they're going to win this thing there. Oklahoma State 3-6, TCU 5-4.
TCU easy.
Yeah, this should not be yeah. Oh no, Teran. NBC, you suck. Oh wait, they're not ranked. I'm sorry. I was gonna say number 1, but Teran, they've only won 1 game. That's where I got the 1 from. Aha. Florida State at 1-8, taking on number 10 Notre Dame, who is 7-1. Teran, what the? Why? Why?
Exactly. Remember how I said I can't believe we're subjected to watch Mississippi State and Tennessee on national TV? This should be a crime to be put on national TV.
It should be.
Give me Notre Dame.
Notre Dame's going to mollywop these guys. Like, can we please, like, my gosh, can we please? I'm down to walk South Dakota today.
Exactly.
You know, like, let's go. I put that on at least, man. My gosh, I put on Montana.
This match should be
UC
put on
Davis.
Nickelodeon.
This should be on the Discovery Channel. This is what horrible teams look like.
Trying to find the end zone.
Trying to find the end zone. Yeah, that would be a great show. Welcome back to another episode, Trying to Find the End Zone with the Florida State Seminoles. In today's episode, we're still trying to find out what a touchdown is. But we have gained evidence that has led us to, I'm just kidding. But yeah. Then we have here the SEC Network game here. So Oklahoma at 5-4, number 24, Mizzou at 6-2. I don't know. That's a toughie. I mean, I'm obviously going to take Mizzou, but this could be an upset.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Oklahoma won. I'll take Missouri just in case, but Oklahoma, they're kind of cutting it close with being bowl game eligible.
Yeah, they are, that's going to be, oh man, that's going to be great. So 5-4 Washington, number 6, 7-1 Penn State. What do you think, Teran? Do you think Washington somehow pulls this off, or is Penn State is going to, are they going to get a nice little victory but still not be good enough?
Washington won last week, but let's see how they handle playing on the road against Penn State. Give me Penn State.
Yeah, me too. Nevada at 3-7, number 12 Boise State at 7-1. Wow.
Boise State.
Yeah, Reno, I don't think has a chance in this one. Virginia at 4-4, number 18 Pittsburgh at 7-1.
Give me Pitt.
Yeah, Pitt should win this one easy. And we have UNLV 6-2. Hey, versus Hawaii 4-5. This is actually a sneaky good game.
Yeah, I think so too. But I think UNLV will edge out the Rainbow Warriors.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're better. So, I think they're a much better team than But okay, Fresno State at 5-4, Air Force at 1-7. Wow, another one of those clunkers.
Fresno State easy,
big time. Number 9 BYU, the Holy War, Utah at 4-4. I wish the Holy War could be better this year, but I'm sure the Cougs are going to just rout the Utes.
Yeah, I'm taking BYU to win this one.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Just because they have a very good shot at making the Big 12 championship.
Yeah, right. And then we got a late one tonight here. This is a fun one. That one's a late one too. But Utah State at 2-6, taking on number 21 Washington State. Wazoo at 7-1. What do you think about that one?
Yeah, Washington State wins this one easy. We get Pac-12 almost after dark.
Almost. And then, of course, Teran, we got number 11, the game of the week, of course, Saturday Night Football. Number 11, Alabama, taking on number 15, LSU. They're both 6-2. Alabama's 3-2 in the SEC. LSU is 3-1 in the SEC. Only other loss, of course, coming from USC earlier this year, which, of course, USC turned out to be freaking fool's gold. But, Teran, what do you think, man? This is actually a great game. They have Alabama by 2.5 points here. Nussmeier, this guy has played really well out of LSU. I mean, he has thrown 9 picks in the year, but 20 touchdowns, 2,627 yards. Miller, this guy out of Alabama, he's 74 carries for 450 yards, 7 touchdowns. And then Williams here out of Alabama also. 35 receptions, 702 yards, 7 touchdowns on the year so far. This is a fun one, man. Death Valley, man. It's going to be fun in Baton Rouge today.
You know what? I've thought long and hard about this, but I'm going to take LSU in this one.
Reasoning.
I think LSU has a lot more to play for. Alabama is pretty much LSU, I think, is at home, and they know that if they want to make the SEC championship, they pretty much are going to need to run the table. Alabama is not the same Alabama from years past. I'll take the Tigers to win this one. Garrett
2000
Messmeyer is about to piece up this Alabama defense.
Yeah, I think so too. You're totally right, man. I mean, 2009, Alabama started this mean streak. It lasted for a good minute. It wasn't necessarily for a good minute there, Teran. It was the New England Patriots in Alabama, right? They had fun. They were the two top teams in the country every year in the NFL and in college football. They were the monsters, if you will. And both times have passed. The Patriots are fighting for just a few wins this year. Alabama's
for Travis Hunter.
They're tanking. I don't even know if they're tanking. They're just losing. I don't even know if they're tanking. They're actually trying. I don't know, but yeah, the Pats. This is crazy seeing them down like that, and the same thing for these guys, man. Alabama. It's just crazy seeing them so different. No more Nick Saban, no more Bill Belichick. It's just different eras, man. And here we go into this new deal. So there we go, man. And well, Teran, that is it, dude. Freaking cue that music, man. How you feeling? We got through another one, man. How you feel?
Feeling good. No, not 100%, but honestly, I'm glad we got through it very efficiently, very nicely. This is gonna be a great day of college football.
It is, man. It is. So my bad, dude. I know you're not feeling the best, man, but thanks for sticking through it today, man. You really, really, really fought hard today, man, and glad you were able to still join and be a part of it, man. But anyway, dude, we got some fun
for the people.
Yeah, that's right, man. Got to put on, man. So appreciate you, man, for still putting the show on today, man. Thank you so much. What do you think? Closing thoughts? Anything you want to put in here for the ending? Anything?
Nothing too big. All I just gotta say is, USC fans, we can't get hurt this week.
No, I hate your USC. I hate them so much, Teran. Everything about me hates the Trojans right now. I just can't stand them. But whatever. I do want to say, of course, big shout out, man. Last night, as of course, Paris High alum here, man, played for that team. Good old Paris Panthers. Unfortunately, I mean, they would make the playoffs. They had an extra week. Unfortunately, though, they would lose to Los Amigos over in Fountain Valley this past week, Los Amigos High School. So hats off, though, to the Panthers, man, finishing the season. Good season, 7-4. 21-18 they lost last night. But hats off to the Paris Panthers for making the playoffs, man. They haven't been in the playoffs in a good minute, so hats off to those guys. That's right. My beautiful wife's team, the Ramona Rams, they won state last year after a 10-0 season. This time, they lost the first round of the playoffs. But hey, 10-0 season. Hats off to the Ramona Rams. I'm just saying, man, let's go RCC.
And they won 16 straight going into that game. So a lot to be happy about.
Exactly, here. And so anyway, man, just throwing some quick bones out there, giving some flowers here and there. Yorba Linda destroyed Chaparral yesterday. I mean, just all kinds of stuff, man. Big ups to the Marietta schools around here, Temecula schools. But Teran, that's gonna do it, man. Make sure you guys show us some love, man. Give us a follow, be a part of us. We appreciate all of our sponsors, Planet Jerky and Seal the Deal. For Teran Rodriguez, for myself, Larry B. We'll see you next week. Until then, take care, and as always, God bless.
Peace.